Okay, welcome back. Where did we leave off? In this this time in this video, let's start by creating a script. We want a mono behavior script, right? And we're going to call it mover because that's what my tutorial told me to call it. Now, here's the thing about naming a script. um, you have to name it immediately because the name of the script also, if you look over here, this is what's in the script, and we'll see that again in a minute. But whatever you name the script will screw it up if you rename it something else. So, for example, if I were to change the name to player mover, whoops. If I change the name of the script to player mover, you'll notice over here within the script it didn't update that, right? So that really screws stuff up with if you change the name of the script after it's been created to something different. Now, don't know. Didn't want to, I don't know what that did. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what happens when we double click. And that opens everything in the script, or it opens everything in a text editor. What we want to use is VS Code. So, in order to do that, let me close the Unity window, open up my VS Code window, and in here, let's open a file, and it's within Unity and our obstacle dodge. And like this is, oops, obstacle dodge. This is what we want to open. No, we don't want to open we want to open a folder. And we go into Unity, obstacle dodge. That should open the whole project, right? And I trust the author because the author is me. And then we go into there's our scripts, mover.cs. Now also, let me make sure you're following along properly here. Get back over here. Do you want to install the recommended C# dev kit? Yes. I have not done that yet. So let's do that. That's installing right now. Yeah, you see that as happening. And we're also going to look up here. Getting started with C# dev kit. The .NET Core SDK cannot relocate. Okay, I always get errors like that. Okay. Next thing we also want to look for is going to be Unity. So integrates VS Code with Unity, and that's and let's take another look. That was created by Microsoft. So okay, I expect that that's going to help us in the future, and that's going to provide essential C# developers with a lightweight experience in VS Code. Yeah, good stuff. So we added a couple of extensions to help our life out. Let's get back to normal here. Scripts, mover.cs. There was a problem loading projects. See the project load. So show the logs. We're not really trying to do anything with it yet. So let's try something real quick. Let me close that. And no, I don't want the hub. I want my Unity window. Now that we set that up, I want to No, if I double click on that. Okay, so I got to fix that somewhere. Edit, project settings, preferences, external tools, open by file extension, custom tool, external script editor. You know what? We won't worry about that right now. I think somewhere in here we should be able to select VS Code, but we'll worry about it a little bit later. Right now what we want to do with VS Code is .NET command fail, there's problem loading mover.csv log. We'll probably have to work that out later. Net core debugging will not be enabled. Make sure the dot is installed and on its path. If I do this for you, will you shut up? Come on, Windows. Do it. The tool began installing. You may be asked something after you finish. Please reload Visual Studio Code to make it effective. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even trying to log anything in here. So let's do this. How do I even know that that's done? We don't. So let's close this. And let's reopen that. And then let me make sure I'm on the right page with you guys. Okay, there we go. There's all the crap that I'm seeing. Restore something. I missed that. Okay. No downloads or changes were made. So what are we going to do? Oh. Here's an idea. Here's something we need to do real quick. Back in our Unity window. I don't want hub. Okay, back in our Unity window. I want to attach this mover script to Munyon, right? So Munyon's got the mover script on him. You can do this a few different ways, and throughout time, you know, we're going to do it a few different ways, but so you can see the mover script has been added to Munyon. Okay. So let's small in that Unity window, go back to our VS Code, and down here, excuse me. First, let's take a quick look. What does this look like that we already know, right? Because previously we've worked with Arduino last time, right? So what does this look like? Well, at the top of the Arduino we had import statements, right? We had define statements, so it would create a constant to define it to a piece of hardware pin, to a hardware pin. We had include statements to bring in new libraries, and that's what this is, using Unity Engine. That's bringing in a Unity library. Now, the script that we used when we created a new script, it was called a mono behavior script, right? Because in Unity, usually a script just does one thing. For the most part, a script specifically does one thing, and it's the idea of, you know, you do one thing, you do it well, and so we don't inflate our scripts with a bunch of crap that they don't need. We just make very clean scripts that do the one thing and they do it well. And is every script like that? No, but there are other types of scripts, but for the most part, most of what we're going to work with here in the near future is just going to be mono behavior scripts. Now also notice what do we have here? Public. We haven't seen that before, but what does this look like? It almost looks like a function, doesn't it? But it's not. We have a return type. Well, it's not a return type. It's more of an access type. Public meaning anybody can access it. It's not restricted. And then this tells us it's a class, and what we're looking at. And this is the name of it, called mover. And the particular thing about this is it is mono behavior. Other than that, we have open and closing, right? So this is how we define a class in C#. And if you've heard me talk about on the Arduino videos, how sometimes we call something a function, sometimes we call it a method. Okay, well, the Arduino sketches did not have this at the beginning, right? This public class. But every C# script has this on it. So every C# script is a class. Same thing with Java. Now down here, we have a start method and we have an update method. And what did we have in Arduino? We had a setup method. We had a setup function and we had a loop function, but it's the same thing. We set everything up here and then we loop it all down here. So, and then any other code that we write goes down here below. So we set our scripts up a little bit differently, but we still put everything at the top, all of our import statements and stuff. We can declare global variables up here if we want to. In here we have our start function, and then down here, actually it's a start method because it's attached to a class, as we've talked about before. That's the difference between a method and a function. And if you look at Arduino, these are called functions because they're not within a class. If you go back and look at our Arduino videos. So anyway, let's start with something simple because, okay, so let's do transform dot translate. Oop, we're doing that all wrong, huh? Transform dot translate and a semicolon. So that's a method, and we're just going to do 1, 0. Oh, come on, you jerk. 0, 0. So that's our 1, 0, 0. Okay, and let's see. Do we have autosave turned on? Let's check our settings. Autosave is on focus change. Okay, great. So now let's go back and let's go back and see if we can run this in our Unity window. And oh, I don't want Unity Hub. I keep bringing up the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. We're going to compile our script. We're going to run it for the first time. Oh no. 11. Transform does not contain. Oh, I spelled something wrong. You jerk. Shoot. Translate. Transform, translate. And make sure that's right. Yeah. Okay. And go back to close this out. Okay. Let's fail again. So now we're going to reload and let's see here. Well, we didn't actually see what happened because let's bring the game scene out and see if we can kind of wedge it back in here. Well, there. Come on, split it. There we go. Okay. It's opposite of what I want, but we don't care about that right now. Over, let's see. We should see the Munyon move a little bit. Yep. Okay, so you see how Munyon moved? Okay. So that tells us that our code is working. Okay, got it? Got it. Let's do it one more time. We'll make Munyon move again. Jump, Munyon, jump. Okay. Alright. So that we did all that. We made Munyon move. And so in the next video we're going to do something different.